Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So last week, a man named Alberto Almeida was charged in federal court after he threatened the life of his superior, Edward Fox. So why is this important? Well, Almeida is a U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer, and beginning in February of this year, he was sending numerous text and online messages that contained threats against his boss. But even more important than that, he's a QAnon fanatic. So Almeida is being accused of threatening to, quote, assault, kidnap, or murder a federal law enforcement officer with the intent to impede, intimidate, and interfere with such law enforcement officer while engaged in the performance of official duties and with the intent to retaliate against such law enforcement officer on account of the performance or official duties. So Fox, his boss, is the assistant port director for the U.S. Department of Customs and Border Protection in Newark, New Jersey. And in a Facebook post written on September 28th, Almeida specifically names Fox and threatened to, quote, come to Newark Airport to use the power of President Trump and the U.S. military to punish him for his alleged involvement in the 9/11 terrorist attacks and a child sex trafficking ring orchestrated by Hillary Clinton, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jeffrey Epstein. This guy is off the reservation. He clearly has some issues, but here we go again with another person making terrorist-like threats and invoking Trump's name. Almeida goes on in the same post to rant about John F. Kennedy Jr. and the Israeli National Intelligence Agency. And at the end of the post, he used the hashtag WWG1WGA. So that acronym is tied to the conspiracy theorist known as QAnon, and it's frequently cited in posts by QAnon followers. It stands for where we go one, we go all. And the latest insane conspiracy theory cooked up by QAnon is that JFK Jr. is still alive, but he's hiding out somewhere in Pennsylvania and plans to reveal himself as Trump's new running mate. I mean, what is he waiting for? I mean, first of all, it's sick to do to his family. But beyond that, okay, let's say that's true. Let's say your insane lunacy is actually fact. What is JFK Jr. waiting for? We are now less than a month away from the presidential election. What is he waiting for? So the House passed a resolution last week condemning QAnon, and it was with bipartisan support, like overwhelming support. I think there were only 18 members of the House who voted against it. And Facebook announced this week that they're going to be removing and banning QAnon posts and pages across all of their platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, everything. I have mixed feelings about this. I have mixed feelings about trying to silence the QAnon movement because I strongly believe in free speech. I also believe that free speech can cross the line. It can cross the line where it incites violence, and that needs to be taken seriously, and that needs to be removed, which is why I think Trump needs to be removed from office, because he has directly incited violence. I mean, we all just saw yesterday what happened with Gretchen Whitmer. My concern is that this overreach is going to be used against everyone with alternative and outlying views, and that it will eventually be used against those of us on both the right and the left who refuse to bend the knee and toe the establishment line. And QAnon doesn't specifically call for violence. Its conspiracy theories just seem to gin up outrage among their most unstable followers, and not the brightest and not the most reasonable people in our country. And as pointed out in a Fox News article, several QAnon followers have been arrested. I mean, there have been QAnon followers that were involved in QAnon-inspired crimes. So they provided a few examples, but there are many others. So the few that they cited were, in 2018, a man was arrested after using an armored car to block the bridge over the Hoover Dam. That was QAnon related. In 2019, a woman was arrested in Colorado for plotting an armed raid to kidnap her own child, who had been removed from her custody. And then more recently, a woman was arrested in New York after she posted a video accusing Joe Biden of taking part in child sex trafficking. She also threatened to kill Biden in the video. And when she was arrested, they found her with a car full of knives. These people are dangerous, and it needs to be taken seriously, and you need to keep an eye on them. But so far, I am not aware of anything specifically that QAnon has said that would be considered an incitement of violence or a call to arms. There are other groups out there doing it, a lot of the alt-right militia groups out there. But I think this is a little bit of overreach, and I'm concerned that in the future we're going to see this happening with others who have views that don't fall within the mainstream. So anyway, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.